Greetings my dears in love and light. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter. This video is for you. How do the chakras interact with each other? Now this is a little video on the chakra system. Now we learn about what each of the chakras do and how to unblock them, and I've got a couple of videos on that, and I've been working through each of the chakras individually on my channel. Well, I've got so far as the red and the orange ones. Now I like to refer to them in terms of colours. Okay, so when we're working on them, when we're trying to unblock our chakras, it's important to realise that they actually interact with each other. So by working on one, you can be very easily working on others too. So let's take the examples of the yellow and the orange chakras interacting and how you could balance both of those together at the same time. So the yellow chakra is to do with the ego. Let's say if you had inflated ego, you might seek power over others. You might manipulate others and try to control others. So you might try and get people to do things for your own benefit and be manipulative in doing so. So that's like inflated ego. Now, as I have said many times before, the ego is your entire sense of self, the entire you in this reality. So it's like your personality, your self-esteem, how you see yourself, how you see reality, how you see your place in reality, and how you behave and your values and everything about you. So if the ego is out of balance, then it can manifest as someone who's quite extreme in a negative way. As I say, seeking power, manipulation and control over others. Being excessively obsessed with social climbing and being better than everyone else. That's another example. So the orange chakra is to do with personal energy, your personal energy complex. And if that is blocked, you might have problems with acceptance of self and confidence to do with interacting with others. So it's to do with the concept of self and the concept of self in relation to others. So if you have problems with accepting the self, therefore low confidence is going to affect your yellow chakra as well, because your ego is going to be the other way. You're going to have very low self-esteem, and your ego self is going to be, instead of extremely let's say negative in terms of seeking power, manipulation and control, you might be very meek and quiet and unable to interact with others, have very poor self-confidence and lack motivation to do things because you have anxiety, social anxiety, things like that. So it's a lack of ego. It's lacking the sense of self and the confidence. So the yellow chakra is unbalanced because the ego is underdeveloped. There's a lot of anxiety, lacking of confidence. And the orange is unbalanced because there's problems with acceptance of self. So if one works on the self and does inner work to do with acceptance of self, figuring out who I am, who am I, what are my wants and needs, healing the traumas of the past, working on building self-confidence, working on things like feelings of unworthiness, feelings of not being good enough, feelings of shame, like feeling you've always done something wrong, you're not doing things right. If you do inner work and work on these things, then it can't help but balance both chakras. So it unblocks the orange and the yellow. But then in turn, the green is affected too, because the green, the heart chakra, is all about expressing love energy. It's the ability to give love without expectation of return. So if the green is blocked, I hope this isn't getting a bit funny for you. If the green is blocked, then you're either unable to express love or you express excessive love in a way that you're seeking validation. You need it to be returned to you because you're feeling unworthy or in constant need of validation. So there's ulterior motives for expressing lots of love. You need it to help fulfill some need because you need healing. So it's the right balance. of giving love without expectation of return. But if it's blocked, it's a struggle to give love or giving too much love for certain needs. Okay. But if you're balancing yourself and fixing problems, let's say to do with confidence and anxiety, things like this, affecting the orange and the yellow, as those improve, you're able to give love better. You might be able to release barriers that stop you showing love towards your loved ones and be able to tell them you love them or hug them and show appreciation where you might not have been able to do that before. Or you might stop being a people pleaser, trying to get love off other people because you need love for validation and to heal your wounds. You'll naturally heal yourself and not need that constant validation and love of people. So you see, the chakras they balance together and they affect each other. Here's another one. You can have ones on the other end of the scale. So the red root chakra. Okay, so let's say, the red root chakra, if it's has a blockage, it will show up as poor health, so problems in the physical body complex, and emotional problems. And I like to use the example of excessive anger because that's a very common one, feeling very angry about things. So if the chakra is balanced, you can process the anger and transmute it creatively or helpfully in other ways, or you don't get so triggered. Now, the blue chakra, the throat chakra, is all about communication, not just talking, but listening too. So it's both ways. And if it's balanced, you communicate nicely and you listen nicely. Not too much, not too little. And everyone balances differently. So if you have a blockage in the red where you express a lot of anger, then when you communicate, you're going to be expressing a lot of anger. So it's causing a blockage in the blue. So by balancing the red, the blue will improve, if you see what I mean. You're not going to be biting everyone's head off all the time, and that is a blockage in the blue. So by working on anger issues, by getting to the root cause of where they come from and healing them, because they'll be triggered by something. No one has anger issues for no reason. They have anger issues because they're traumatized and there's some reason for it. So by seeking out those traumas in the red, you'll improve communication in the blue, and you'll listen better as well. You won't be so angry because angry people can't listen too well. Okay, so I'm hoping that I'm explaining this well to you today. We can look at the indigo, if you like, as well. So indigo is about wisdom. It's a balance between love and understanding and wisdom, and being able to have a connection with creation, receive that wisdom. It's a connection with the soul, a soul's connection, being your true self. And the blockage can show up as unworthiness, feelings of futility as well. And there's a lack of direction, things like that. Because the inpouring of wisdom, it needs to flow to help to navigate you in this reality that's extremely based in the intuition as well. It's all about the third eye being open. So then if you relate that to the violet is a sum total, it's a crown chakra, it's the sum total of all of the chakras. It's a sum total of the balance of all of the chakras. And as I say, everyone balances differently, so the violet will balance differently from person to person. But the violet will be more open and free-flowing if the other chakras are balanced too. So not too much extremes in the either and the or. So if you had a blockage in the blue, you might talk a lot and listen a little, or not be able to talk or communicate at all. So it's extremes. I can't communicate at all, or I talk everyone's head off and I don't listen. It's balancing in the centre. So if you've got the blue balance and the green balance and the yellow, etc., the violet will be more balanced. The violet, being the sum total of the other chakras, will balance if the others are balanced. So that one is greatly affected by all the others. So I hope that's helped you today to understand how chakras interact with each other a bit more. It is all work of the mind. You can do meditations and things like that, visualizing energy flowing through your chakras to help them unblock. Yes, that's a good thing to do. You can visualize colours and coloured energy flowing through your chakra. You can eat well, eat healthily, do exercise, and everything that you would need to do to be a healthy, balanced person. But a lot about chakras is work of the mind. All is a thought. And personality, ego, it's all a thought. Aspects of self, it's all concepts, perceptions, thoughts. So the chakras are largely based on concepts, aspects of self, which we work on to get them just right in the middle, not too much, not too little, but don't fuss or worry about it. As I say, everyone is different, and you can think about to what degree these aspects are acceptable to me. So I might choose to be slightly more on the talkative side in life. That would be my decision. This is just an example. So you can choose how to balance if you want and feel what feels right to you. The point is not going through life blind to these things. It's shining the light of conscious awareness onto it and taking a look. So I hope you found that helpful today. I thank you once again for being a Patreon supporter. I do thank you a lot. I'm sorry about that. I hope you don't mind. I am very grateful. And I wish you all the love in the world and take care this week. I hope you have a lovely week. All the best.